now, so they're going to do a structural improvement to it. I want them to mill that surface down and put hot mix asphalt improvement on it. And we're gonna let the neighbors know. Nobody has complained about it, but we're gonna let the neighbors know before we do that, so they know that we're looking out for them. This is stabilization of the roadside by the bridge on Miller Road. Sometimes you have gullies that cut alongside the road and eventually take the road down. And if you don't pay attention to them, it becomes a big deal. This is another tree that decided to fall down on, of all places, Down Hall Road. That's a road that's probably ought to be traveled at 40 miles an hour. People go at 120 miles an hour out there. And it happened to be between two blind curves. So that was something that we really had to pay attention to clear the road so emergency vehicles at least can get to hospitals and such, let alone the safety aspect of it. This truck right here was stopped to help the district crews. We did not pay him, and the only reason he stopped to help is because he has a good rapport with the district employees. That tells you the kind of people that they are.
Yes.
This is drainage improvements on Ridgewood. You can stop me anytime. I just want to make sure that I don't overdo your overexertion with nonsense here. A lot of stuff. This is Westchester, drainage improvement on Westchester. This is culvert replacement on Otten Road. It looks like it's a deep structure, and it was.
Is that a bridge stop?
No, it's a simple culvert. This is a bridge culvert replacement off of Wagner. And this is, you can't tell very much, this is the snowplow train getting ready to hit the road at about 4:15, 4:30 in the morning, the first snow event that we had. And I was there with them. I was not very popular. You can't get people up at 3 in the morning and expect them to like you. But none of them, I have never asked them to do something without them doing it. Never. And we got one call about an area of snow that was not cleaned up. We tried our best. So after firefighters, snow fighters look out for the safety of people. And these guys, I'm going to school on them. The reason they're doing a good job is because they're motivated to do it. It's not because I'm cracking the whip on them. When we finish a big job, and we have only an hour, a couple hours of the day left, my instruction to these guys, you always want to make sure the residents of the township see you as earning your nickel, so they can maintain faith in you. So when we have a couple of hours after a big job, we do something like paint stop bars at stop signs. And the reason we do it is because it enhances and promotes safety. And then when we do it, you guys know that somebody's minding the store, somebody's thinking a little bit.
Yard looks good, Sal.
Yes.
Looks good in our neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you for our neighborhood too.
You're very welcome. We're spending some time to educate the crews on survey equipment so we can save some money and become self-sufficient. This here is a truckload worth of garbage that we picked up off Down Hall Road. And I'll tell you more about this in just a little bit here. This is a mattress that we picked up at the intersection of Town Hall Road and Villa Drive. This is a toilet we picked up off of Town Hall Road. If you really want your property value to stay where it is, help me stop this malevolent act. If you have video evidence, if you have photographic evidence, if you live in a simple home or an expensive home, you are at risk. This document here we saw in the trash pile. I darkened out the information on it except for the guy's name Jerry. So if any of you is named Jerry, watch out. Because I'm talking with the sheriff department and we have already started pursuing whoever did this. We may not catch the person, but I guarantee you and spread the word out that we're gonna come down hard on whoever does this sort of thing. And the last thing that we're going to do here, this is the bottom half of this board here, is what I was given worth 4 years worth of employee hour documentation. Karen spent 40 man hours, in her case woman hours, decoding what was written. The guys had no faith in their holiday time, in their vacation time, in their sick time. I had just had the chance to start doing spreadsheet. This is one page of it. I'm at 40 man hours into it, and I'm not finished yet, doing it for the next 3.5 years, so we can document rightfully what they have, what we owe them and all that, and they can have faith in it. So this is part of.
Do the employees have direct deposit?
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
In addition to some of the administrative time required by we submitted our MFT, motor fuel tax request, and I've submitted a scary amount that we want from the county or from the state. And they looked at it and they said, well, we can't do that. And I said, why? They said, the person before you never asked for this amount of money. I said, that's a good enough reason for me. That's what we want. Because we want a mill and resurface over in your neighborhood too. IGD, I'm talking with the Intergovernmental Grant Department so we can apply for funds for the less fortunate in our neighborhoods so we can help with their roads and with their sewers. And when we do that, we're helping ourselves because that will free up funds for us to do things. Villa Hills is one area that may very well qualify. And after this, I'm going to ask Mr. Green to add this to the minutes, please, that the next time the applications are going out from the county for the intergovernmental grants, and they go to the town. So when the town gets this, Mr. Bone, please make sure that the road district gets it so we can complete that, and then we'll respectfully present it to the board so you folks can help us get that money for the residents. I have spent a good chunk of time looking at GPS, Global Positioning System, and routing software, and I've decided that this is not the time for it. It's very helpful, but the benefit we get from it right now doesn't really exceed the value we get from it. I will talk with the county, I haven't started that yet, about Newman Drive. Apparently they had money to spend at one point to solve the flooding problem they have on Newman Drive. But that was nixed because of threat of a legal lawsuit by a lady who was concerned about something or another who's no longer there. So, and finally, this is not a joke. This is the last item on the agenda. This is Buttercup. This is not her real name, just to protect the bovine privacy. She lives in the township. So I heard in a casual conversation that Buttercup would break through the pasture and get on District Road. Well, when Buttercup gets out of the pasture onto the road, then it becomes my jurisdiction. So we have actually reported Buttercup to the sheriff department, and the deputy actually went out there to talk, not with Buttercup, but with her owner. And the reason we're doing this is we don't want any of you to hit Buttercup in your little car. That would not be a good thing.
For Buttercup or the car. Sal, can I make a comment, please?
Go ahead.
1 second. I really do appreciate what you're doing for Stookey Township roads. I think it's very, very commendable. Mr. Bagby is doing the same thing. So I just think that all of us right here ought to give both Mr. Bagby and Sal a great hand, which maybe the rest of the board might take a look at that and say, hey, we're gonna do the same thing.
Sal, your budget amended hearing is February 5th at 5:30.
Right here. February 5th, 5th.
Yeah. Line number 6, everybody's got the financials for the 3 girls in the office. I've sent you my recommendation. Does anybody have any questions with respect to that proposal?
So do we do any sort of employee review on an annual basis and goal setting with the employees?
I review every year.
Okay. Can those be shared with the rest of the board?
Can what be shared? I don't take minutes, they're
The
just
employee
conversations of what I expect from them and what they should be doing.
Okay, could we move to a process where that's all documented then, so that annually, if we're gonna do performance raises or anything, that we would have a mechanism and record keeping of their performance?
I'm not gonna do any written records, don't need to, there's 3 girls. They all do a good job.